Hey everybody, welcome back to Battle Ready Inc. So today we're talking about another one of the big contenders for this format. Super hyped up deck, lots of anticipation around this. Very curious to see where it's going for this foreseeable future. And JP, this was like one of the very best decks. But for us, we actually had a limit of one of the very powerful cards in it in the form of the Geogreymon. So is it still as powerful as it was? No, but is it still incredibly powerful? Absolutely. There is so many different ways to build this deck. When we jump into it, I'll quickly show you just like alternate options that you can use, and it's probably the largest list of alternate cards I've ever put on a deck profile for you guys, because the deck is actually that flexible in how you want to go about running it. Also, don't forget to check out our Etsy page, link in the description below. There we have tons of memory markers, so for whatever deck you're playing, you can probably find a memory marker that would be absolutely perfect for it. As well as we got tons of new merch that you should definitely go check out. We've got new acrylics here. They can be keychains, they can be memory markers, they can be fridge magnets, whatever you want. They're super fantastic. Absolutely love them. They look absolutely adorable. All right, so here we go. I've got the whole deck pulled up for you guys so you can kind of follow along. Yeah, my build is fairly different from a lot of other people's, but I think every time I see a deck profile, it's different from anybody else's. Like, that's what I love about this deck a whole lot, actually, is just how flexible you can make it. Look at this list. Just quick scroll down. This is all the different choices that we're going to go in and talk about. So if you are wondering why I'm not running X Tech or anything like that, maybe it's down there in the bottom. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into this card by card. First up, we got the new baby Patamon. When a card is added to your security stack, draw one. Now, notice this is not specifically for recovery. This is just anytime a card is added. So, like your new TK can put in a vaccine type. Your Angemon, the new secret rare Angemon, can put himself in security. Just anytime a card is added, no matter what the means, you draw a card, which is really great. Yellow doesn't normally have a whole lot of draw power. It was just used to be Upamon, but now with the Tokomon, really good for yellow. So fantastic new baby. Next, we got the new Patamon, which is absolutely insane. Start of your main phase. So this is after you promote. Search your security stack. Just get a look at it. I mean, dang, that's just by itself great. I mean, if you're like a Setcon player and you're just like, I just promote my Patamon and I just want to look at my security, like, go for it. Because then this Digimon may Digivolve, so you don't even have to if you don't want to, into a yellow Digimon card with the vaccine trait among them without paying the cost. So there are some insanely good vaccine level 4s out there. If Digivolved by this effect, you may place one yellow card with vaccine trait among them from your hand at the bottom of your security. So an ideal thing here is to evo into a level 4, and then you're going to slide in, say, a level 5 or a level 6 vaccine type to the bottom of your security. And so then you can use your Emissary of Hope, which has a very similar effect to this Patamon, which will then let you evo for free again from your security. So really good combinations here. And then the inheritable here is your turn once per turn. When a card is added to your security stack, gain 1 memory. We absolutely love those effects in yellow, and now we have it on a baby, or not on a baby, but on a rookie. Maybe one day we'll get it on a baby. You know, we've hit maximum power creep when that day comes. But yeah, gain 1 memory on a rookie inheritable. So really cool. Also love the background here with the Patamon there, the Angemon, the Magnaangemon, and the Seraphimon. Really cool. That just a little added detail there on that artwork. Next, we got the Kudomon, which is actually a very popular tech. I think pretty much everyone's deck profile is running this, in addition to, of course, the mainstays like Patamon. But on play, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 yellow Digimon card with the vaccine trait and 1 yellow Tamer card among them to your hand. place the rest at the bottom of the deck in any order. Some people are running the EX1 Patamon. It's a reveal 5, but it only grabs the Tamer. I'd rather a reveal 3 and I get 2 cards, so a Digimon and a Tamer. So Kudomon is definitely my searcher of choice for on-play effects. And then the inheritable here, when attacking once per turn, wow, that's a weird... I can't believe they did that. If there are 6 or fewer cards in both players' security stack, one of your opponent's Digimon gets -2k for the turn. So pretty cool. Really good mid to late game card, inheritable right there. So just being able to kill off a good number of rookies that are going to be in the format here, as well as just working down something a little bit beefier so that way you can get over it. Next, I got Cutemon in here. Opponent's turn. Your opponent can't reduce Digivolution cost. We're seeing a lot of that going into this format. Just a lot of just general stuff that reduces a lot of Evo cost. Depending on where the meta goes, will kind of determine this flex spot of what rookie to run instead of Cutemon. If Lugamon really takes off, we might even max out on Pillowmon here, so all turns players can't play Digimon by effects. Bloom also is very, very popular right now. We're seeing a lot of influx of Bloom with the new Palmon support that it got. Fenrir Lugamon doing great outstanding work. People are absolutely loving that deck, but both of these play tons of Digimon by effects, so this Pillowmon here just kind of slowing down that deck a tremendous amount. You kind of really want to see this like ASAP in those matchups and in multiple quantities in case they kill it off. So if those two decks do really start to pop off, we might just see a full max out of Pillowmon and no Cutemon at all. Let's jump down here. Look at alternative rookies here. Not a ton of different stuff. We have the old Pulsemon promo here. Just if you have 3 or more security cards, draw 1. If you have 3 or fewer, gain 1 memory. So you can make him a 2-play cost, draw 1. It's not bad. It's a bit outdated now. We have the Searcher Kudomon here that does pretty good work. If you want to drop the Cutemon, you could run in this Pulsemon if you wanted. And then we have the BT7 one, which is when attacking once per turn. If you have 3 security cards, gain 2 memory. Just always a really cool ability there. We have a good amount of security manipulation in this deck, so you could possibly trigger that. I don't think it's overly necessary, though. I think what we have is definitely better. And then we've got the Kudomon here. If you want to run a Kentarosmon package here, because we do have 2 mega slots open for, whatever fits the player's profile the best. On play, you may return 1 Kentarosmon from your trash to the bottom of your deck. Trigger recover 1. So that's really nice there. And then on deletion, one of your opponent's Digimon gets -1000 DP for the turn, inheritable, which we will get into later on. But you could run a Kentarosmon here, 2 of them in place of the 2 Venusmons that we have in here. And if you were to go with that line, then I think throwing in 2 Kudomons could definitely be very useful. Again, though, that's just player preference. I really like what we have going here already. All right, jumping into our level 4s now, we've got the new Angemon Evos for 2 on top of Patamon. But ideally, you really want to be digivolving this guy for free from your security, either with the Patamon effect or with the Emissary of Hope option card. When attacking, by deleting this Digimon, activate one of the following effects below. Place one of your opponent's Digimon with the virus trait at the bottom of their security stack, or one of your opponent's Digimon gets -5000 DP for the turn. Can be kind of situational there. The idea is not to just use this when attacking effect every time he's on the field. You don't want to just continuously keep losing your stack. That's not really your goal here. But on deletion, place this card at the bottom of your security stack. Then if you have a Tamer, you may hatch in your breeding area. So pretty nice to promote up your Patamon, Evo for free into this Angemon. You can attack, clear a super big threat that's a virus type. off the field, and then use that on deletion to just set himself right back into security again for the following turn. So you can immediately evo like another Patamon there in raising area and just do the whole combo again. Pretty good stuff. And then inheritable here on deletion, place one yellow card with a vaccine trait from your hand at the bottom of your security stack. So kind of similar stuff here. This Angemon is basically just continuously putting either himself or another level 4, ideally, back into your security to just continuously keep this loop going of just being able to evo for in ridiculously reduced amounts of memory. Next, we do have the one Geogreymon in here. Like, yeah, it's a one of. I'm not a big fan of one ofs, but we can only run one of it. So, and it's stupid strong. There's no reason I wouldn't want to. Evo's for 3, but it is a vaccine type. So with the Patamon, we can evo this out of our security for free. When digivolving, search your security stack, and you may play one red or yellow Tamer card among them without paying the cost. If you did, recover 1, so you just get to replace it instantly. What's really nice about this Patamon here is when you do this, you look at your security stack, like, okay, Geogrey's in there, awesome. Is there a Tamer I can play off of this Geogreymon if I was to evo it? No? Okay, what's our secondary option? Oh, I've got an Angemon I can evo for free instead. You know, getting that knowledge off the Patamon to determine if Geogrey is the play or not. Super good stuff. Your turn, once per turn, inheritable here. When one of your red or yellow Tamers becomes suspended, you may delete one of your opponent's Digimon 3000 DP or less. Good rookie killer there. Our TK here does suspend himself quite often. Pretty much every single round you'll be suspending this TK. So getting good use out of that Geogreymon inheritable. All right, now we're going to get into some stuff that's a little bit different from other people's builds. This is just kind of my take on it. I am a big fan of Angemon, especially Magnaangemon in general. Just always have been a fan. So I kind of wanted to stay a little bit more true to that. But I also think that these cards are generally like pretty strong in the deck. So we have the original starter deck 3-1 here, vaccine type, inheritable. If you have 4 or more security cards when attacking, gain 1 memory. Not too bad there. Any kind of memory gain to just keep your turns going and keep plays happening. Just keep going and going and going. Like, that's one of the things that makes Bloomlord so good, is that they can just continue to make plays. Like, they can do basically every single one of their turns is like the equivalent of another player's like 3 turns because of all the memory gain and crazy shenanigans they could do. So I went a little bit heavy on that kind of mentality here. So we have the Patamon gain memory, we have the Angemon when attacking gain memory, and then just rounding off our level 4s, I do have the BT8 vaccine Angemon. Your turn, when this Digimon would digivolve, if you have 3 or fewer security cards, recover 1. As a off and on pretty heavy security control player, I do like my recovery a lot. This deck does have some recovery, like it has a decent amount, especially for a yellow deck, like that's no contest. But even just a little bit more never hurts here, so I don't mind having this little bit of bonus recovery, because a lot of the stuff that we're doing is just we're taking one card out of security and putting another one back. Like, our security isn't actually getting bigger, we're just trading cards out of it. So having another alternative for recovery is nice, especially in the late game where you can have this Angemon sitting on field and your opponent attacks and you blast Digivolve into the Magnaangemon Ace and you get 2 recoveries out of it, because it's when this guy digivolves. So he himself digivolves, you recover, and then if you have like a recover on whatever evos, that's another recovery. So 2 recovers, super solid to me, I think. And then inheritable when attacking, if you have 3 or more security cards, return one of your opponent's level 3 Digimon to its owner's hands. So another rookie removal inheritable here. So Geogrey as well as the Angemon. Feels pretty good. He is a 3 Evo cost, but the idea is that you do want to be Evoing for free into him. Jumping up, actually, let's jump down here to our level 4 alternatives here. Leomon, always a classic staple here with that vaccine type here, so we can Evo for free into him, and then security at the end of battle. If you have 3 or fewer security cards, recover 1. You can place this guy in security yourself, even if he doesn't wind up there. So you have this Patamon, if this Digimon Digivolved by this effect, you may place one yellow card with a vaccine trait from your hand at the bottom of your security stack, so you can guarantee that he'll be at the end, so you will be at 3 or fewer security cards. That's pretty good. TK here on play, by returning the top card of your security stack to your hand, you may place one yellow card with a vaccine trait from your hand at the bottom of your security stack. So we do have ways to guarantee that he will end up there. So if you want to rock this Leomon, like totally get it. The only like one I would maybe flex out is this when attacking Angemon, inheritable of the gain 1 memory. So just an idea there. And then the Rapidmon here, if you saw the feature match this week, very powerful card here. Normally a massive 4 Evo cost, but he is a vaccine type, so Evoing for free into Rapidmon is stupid strong. You can guarantee that he's there with all your effects like TK there, so ensuring that he's in there. We have the Armor Purge, but then we of course have the when Digivolving, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon for each Tamer you have in play, then up to 3 of your opponent's suspended Digimon get minus 5,000 DP for the turn. Just a super strong card. Suspending blockers, things like that, just suspending all your opponent's stuff. This deck loves to spam out its TKs. Like, there is no reason that you actually don't even mind doing it. And in some decks, it feels kind of awkward, like wasting a turn playing a Tamer. But in this deck, it actually works really well because you can actually gain memory back off of it. So TK is just a 2-drop by himself with his own effect. But if you have multiple TKs, it just starts making your TKs free. So spamming out TKs actually not that bad of an idea. And then so really take advantage of this Rapidmon. Very powerful. Very powerful card here. Again, if I wanted to play a little bit more optimal, I would drop the Angemon and work in these guys, because I do think they are a little bit more powerful and a little bit more flexible in their utility for you. All right, let's go ahead and jump up into our level 5s here. The new Magnaangemon Ace, just an absurdly powerful card. I think this is without a doubt the best Ace monster in this set. But I honestly might even argue this is the best Ace monster in the game entirely. 4 play cost, recover 1 if you have 5 or less. Then for the turn, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 1,000 DP for each card in your security stack. Just crazy. Now, in theory, the most you'd ever be applying is minus 6k, but say you've just recovered a whole bunch, right? You say you're up to 8 or 9 security. You play this, yeah, you won't get that recovery, but you will get that minus 1,000 DP for all 9 of those security, hitting for a lot harder of a DP minus for 4 memory. Not too bad there. But yeah, mainly the 4 play cost, just recover 1 and then minus DP on something. Like, so good. Such a stupid strong card. Yes, you have the Ace effect there of if it leaves the field, you lose the 3 memory, and it's the card itself. So if they say they use a card that removes sources, and this is one of the sources that gets removed, you lose the memory. If the Digimon, I don't know, say you de-digivolve this Magnaangemon sitting on field, it gets de-digivolved, so you trash the top card and the level 4 is sitting there, you lose the 3 memory, because the card reads itself is when this card would move from the battle area. And that's the specific part, is it's the card itself here and not the Digimon. So you got to make sure you pay attention to wording like that. It specifically references this card. If this card leaves the field in any way, no matter what the way is, you lose that memory. And then, of course, we have the Blast Digivolve, which is very powerful. So when your opponent attacks, you can Evo for free with this guy, and then you can get your when Digivolving effect for that recovery and that DP minus. Extremely powerful, especially in conjunction with this Angemon here. So just be mindful of your order of operations there. Make sure you recover with this one first while you're at 3 or less. And then when you're at that 4, you use this one to recover up to 5. just good thinking there. This card is insane. I think this card could literally be teched into every single deck in the game, and like you wouldn't even bat an eye. Like, I'm just gonna play this like 4 play cost recover card, okay, and I get to kill something on your field. Like, yes, okay, any deck could run this card. So strong. Next, so this is one of the flex spots here again. I am a fan of this one here. So when attacking, if you have 3 or more security cards, this Digimon gets plus 4k until the end of your opponent's turn. So it bumps him up to 11k. Not too bad for a level 5 there. Can swing over some good stuff that might be left suspended that your opponent just didn't think you could get all the way up into a mega to handle. That could be useful, but it's mainly this inheritable here. Your turn, once per turn, when a card is added to your security stack, gain 1 memory. That can make this Emissary of Hope basically free. If you're going into a Seraphimon, you can reduce the Evo cost of your Seraphimon pretty good here. So normally a 4 Evo cost when Digivolving Recover, but if you have the Magna and the Patamon, it essentially makes him just a 2 Evo cost. Not too bad there, making your Emissary of Hopes as well pretty good. In future turns, when you already have your Seraphimon established, using your TKs for setup and stuff like that, you're just gaining memory. So at that point, once you have Patamon and Magnaangemon under your Seraphi, and your Seraphi's just chilling there and it's your turn, like using something like another TK, like that makes the TK free with these 2 guys. If you have bonus TKs on field, you're just plussing memory and you're setting your security up. Very, very nasty combos there. Now, if you want to go with something else here, we have a good amount of alternate options here. The Rise Greymon here. So when Digivolving, you may play 1 yellow Tamer card from your hand without paying its memory cost. There's no like play cost restriction like 3 or 4. You can do either or. Any on-play effects on the Tamer played with this effect don't activate though. So that's kind of a bummer. But it does get you more stuff in rotation. Like the TK Memory Fixer isn't a bad one to play off of this necessarily. But the Inheritable here is kind of like a bit more of a go-to. If you're wanting to be more of an aggressive player and get some good hits in, Inheritable, while you have 3 or more yellow Tamers in play, this Digimon gains security attack +1. Like I said earlier, you really want to get multiple TKs out here. So you can have that security attack +1, and the Seraphimon also gives himself security attack +1. So you can be swinging for 3 checks with your Seraphimon if you want. Or you can go with this Boutmon here. This part up here is not the important part. It's the Inheritable here when attacking once per turn. If you have 3 security cards, unsuspend this Digimon. So you could attack twice in theory with your security attack +1 Seraphimon for a total of 4 checks. But you have to be exactly at 3 security cards. It's not 3 or less, it's exactly 3. A lot more difficult to potentially trigger there. So I wanted to just tell you that it exists and that the potential is there for 4 security checks, but not necessarily something that you should strive for. If you're going for something like that, play Wargreymon. That's why I didn't include either of these. Like, I don't want to. This isn't an aggressive deck where I'm trying to get tons of security checks. This is not how this deck is played. Next up, I've got the old starter deck 3 Angemon here. That when Digivolving, if you have 3 or less security cards, trigger recover 1. Just not a bad one there. You know, just more recovery for the deck, but we do have a good amount of recovery, so I feel pretty solid where we're at. I don't think this Angemon's super needed, but the option is there if you so choose. Now, a big one right here, this is what a lot of people are going for. There was actually a buyout on the alt arts of this Angemon. But when Digivolving, it is a vaccine type, of course. When Digivolving, you may search your security stack for 1 card of Angel, Archangel, or Fallen Angel in its traits, reveal it, and add it to your hand. If you added a card, recover 1, then shuffle your security stack. So if say you're gone up into this Angemon, you don't have Emissary of Hope in hand or anything like that. You can't do your free Evo. You need to pull like a Seraphimon or a Venusmon out of there so you can just hard Evo them like normal. This is a good Angemon for that. The Inheritable here, opponent's turn, while you have a purple Digimon in play, all of your Digimon with Angel, Archangel, or Fallen Angel in their traits get blocker. If you want to run this Angemon, I definitely recommend your secondary Mega to be Ophanimon Fall Down mode. I think that's right, fall down mode, right? That she's yellow and purple, so she will trigger this blocker for you. So she will be a blocker, as well as all your other angels will then turn into blockers, and we play a hefty amount of angels in this build, so not too bad there. This secondary effect here is not ever going to apply, though. When you play a Lady Devi or a Mirai, gain 1 memory, that's irrelevant. It's mainly, this is just a card to help you dig through your security, pull out something, and then recover. As well as, even if you don't need to pull out a Mega, you could just pull out something like Magnaangemon Ace. You know, pull one of those out of security, so that way you have it available to use, and then you recover something fresh in there instead. Very strong card. It's very much dependent on what kind of play style you want. I really like the Magnaangemon Inheritable, though, of the gain 1 memory. I also prefer to run Venusmon over Ophanimon. Yeah, she has the recovery, sure. And then the on deletion can bring something back. But Venusmon has just always treated me super well. Very, very powerful card. So that's why I opted to go this route instead of the Angemon with Ophanimon combo. All right. That is it for level 5s. Moving up into level 6 here, we have, of course, the Seraphimon from BT14. So far, probably the best Seraphimon printed to date. When Digivolving, recover 1. So pretty standard Seraphimon when Digivolving effect. We pretty much all of them do that. All turns, once per turn, when a card is added to your security stack, this is all turns, keep that in mind. When a card is added to your security stack, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 7,000 DP for the turn, and this Digimon gains security attack +1 for the turn. So this is a big 4 Evo cost, though. So typically, if you're Evoing into this Seraphimon, you're going to pass turn, and that's what I'm kind of avoiding here. I want to take advantage of this security attack +1. I want to DP minus something. If it's something big that's suspended, like an opponent's, I don't know, like Death X, right? They swung with their Death X. It's 15k. They're feeling pretty good, and then I go Seraphimon -7. It's at 8. Trigger Patamon Inheritable and Magnaangemon Inheritable, gain 2 memory. So then it's only basically a 2 cost. If I've got TKs in play, that's more memory gain to keep it on my side of the field. And then I can swing over that. Or if there's not anything, I kill something smaller, and then I swing into security for 2 checks. Because I'm going so heavy on this Seraphimon is why I want the memory gain. Very, very powerful card here. Do enjoy it a lot. There is a alternative Seraphimon, though. The promo 54 here, when Digivolving, if you have a Tamer in play, recover 1. So pretty similar. It is also a 4 Evo cost. It is 1,000 DP less, though. But to make up for that, it has a great on deletion effect of recovery +1. So if you're going to go with a build that's going to go like heavy on removal options, like, some older yellow strategies, we would do a ton of recovery and put a ton of kill options in our security. This might be a good Seraphimon of choice. It is a vaccine type, so it synergizes with the deck very nicely, and it gets you 2 recoveries as opposed to just the 1 Seraphimon recovery. I did miss one here. Seraphi. Shadow Seraphi here was going to be a talking point for us here. This is another good target here, so you can Digivolve for 1 on top of your Seraphimon existing already. Now, if you do that, you will give up your all turns effects, and you can, using like Blast Digivolve here, recover during your own turn, or hit something in security that might trigger a recovery, like a Leomon or something like that. So you will lose out on that -7k, so that could be relevant. But at 1 Evo cost, not too bad. Or you just Evo it for 4, just like you did the other Seraphi. Opponent's turn, when a card is removed from your security stack, de-Digivolve 1. If you get both Seraphimons on field at the same time, you're going to de-Digivolve 1 and hit them with a -7k. Like, that's almost like certain death for them. So really nasty. And then on deletion, recover 1, then one of your opponent's Digimon gets -4,000 DP for the turn for each card in your security stack. So kind of similar to Magnaangemon's on-play recovery effect, but way more powerful. But you have to lose a body to get it. But it also incentivizes your opponent, or sort of not to delete this guy. Like, they don't want to deal with him getting deleted because they don't want to lose their stuff. So yeah. Very powerful card as well. If you want to go with him for your secondary mega, that could make sense also. Another primary mega that you could run is the Kazuchimon from BT7. Big, massive 5 Evo cost, but it is a vaccine. So if you use Emissary of Hope, you could Evo into this guy for free. If you have 3 or more security cards, gain 2 memory. So if you use Emissary of Hope for 1 cost and you just gain 2 off of this guy's effect, you basically Evo'd into this massive beast of a card for memory plus 1. If you have 2 or fewer security cards, you may gain or you may recover 1 until there are 3 cards in your security stack. Primary or secondary on this guy, just nothing like being at 0 security and then evoing into a Kazuchimon and recover 3 feels absolutely wonderful. And then your turn, while you have 3 or more security cards, this Digimon gains security tank plus 1. So similar to the Seraphimon, you have the security tank bonus there. You have the potential for a massive amount of recovery. The possibilities are there. Let's go ahead and jump up with the Venusmon, though. This is the one I chose to go with. Now, will I swap it out for the Shadow Seraphimon? Maybe at some point. I'll probably go back and forth on which ones I prefer. When Digivolving, all of your opponent's Digimon gain security attack -1 until the end of your opponent's turn. All of your opponent's Digimon with security attack, it just security attack, doesn't matter if it's plus or minus. Say they've got a minus effect and a plus effect and they cancel each other out, they still are being affected by a security attack bonus of some type, even though they've canceled each other out. They can't attack this Digimon and can't activate when attacking and when Digivolving effects. This Venusmon has shut down so many turns, it's just unreal. Absolute incredible card here. That when Digivolving attack, security attack -1. For those that don't know, the wording on this is all of your opponent's Digimon gain it. So even if they play out something new, say they Geogreymon into something, and normally they lose all buffs and debuffs that they had, it still gets affected by the Venusmon. If they Evo on top of a Tamer, it gets affected by the Venusmon. They hard play something with Rush, it still gains that security attack -1 from the Venusmon. Just a game-ending card in the right situations. Against certain decks, I've played against like Geogreymon decks that, you know, they immediately have security attacks soon as they come. Like, even if this Venusmon's been on turn for or on the field for 3 turns, they'll go Geogreymon and it just naturally has security attack pretty much all the time. It can't do anything, can't use its when attacking or when Digivolving effects. So just, and then it also can't attack the Venusmon because it has that bonus. This Venusmon against Greymon decks, stupid good. Really, really, really awesome. But yeah, that is my 2 of tech that I chose to go with. Another one, like I said earlier, was the Kentarosmon, if you want to use the Kutamon on play or when Digivolving for 5 Evo cost. If there are, God, I hate when they use they're like, what is this? This is not real English. If there are 6 or fewer total cards in both players' security stacks, gain 3 memory, essentially making him a 2 Evo cost, and reveal 1 card in your hand. If it's yellow, place it on top of your security stack face down. If not, return it to the hand. So the idea is similar to what we've been doing in a lot of the decks so far, is we get to put a yellow card that we want in security. Now this one is nice though, because it's just cards. So if you want to go Wyvern's Breath, you can absolutely do that. So that's really nice there. Yeah, if there are 6 or fewer total cards in both players' security stack, gain 3 memory and reveal 1. So they have to be at this threshold. That's why I would say this guy's a secondary mega, because he's only going to be useful towards the mid or late game. He's not going to be super useful early game. But it also does set up for like other plays, like, you know, free evos and things like that. And then when attacking once per turn, by trashing the top card of your security stack, unsuspend this Digimon, and one of your opponent's Digimon gets -7,000 DP for the turn. So similar in a way to the Seraphimon, we're doing that -7,000 DP. But you do have to trash the top card of your deck to do that, which isn't exactly ideal, but at least he puts you a free one in play there. So if you just have a like discard fodder anyways, you just throw that there. trash it, and then swing, and he does unsuspend off of it. 13,000 DP, very respectable. So 2 attacks here and a minus 7,000 DP. A solid card. I think he's definitely a solid secondary mega, especially if you want to run tech in like 2 Kutamons with the deck. Would not mind it. All right, that is it for all of our alternate cards we can use, so we'll just finish it out right quick here. And we'll do the Emissary of Hope first. I know it's not in the normal options section here, but this is a huge part of the deck here. If you don't have your Patamon, this is your secondary option. You typically do want to save this, though, for your level 5s and your level 6s, though, if you can at all help it. Main, search your security stack. One of your Digimon may digivolve into one yellow level 6 or lower Digimon card with the vaccine trait among them without paying the cost. It's a free Evo, but you pay 1 memory for this card. Then shuffle your security stack. If digivolved by this effect and you have a Tamer with TK in its name, recover 1. So it's just like the Patamon. It just replaces you take out a card, you put a card back. Patamon, you get to choose a vaccine type from your hand. This card is just a blind recovery off the top. Totally okay. Don't mind that at all. Very powerful card. 1 play cost. Absolutely insanely strong. And then security, you may play 1 Patamon card from your hand or trash without paying the cost, then add this card to your hand. That's pretty great. That might be why some people are going with the EX1 Patamon instead of the Kutamon, is because it could get hit off of Emissary of Hope. Also, I love that this card gets added to hand because you do not want to waste this card. You want to play this card every single game, like as many copies as you can get. I only have 3 in here. If that is correct or not, I'm not entirely sure. Like, I kind of want to run it at a 4 of. I just don't want it to be too cloggy, but at the same time, the deck can really thrive off of using this card. So time will tell if I want to bump it up to 4 or not. It is a choice there. I could drop down the physical training very easily and bump this up to a 4 of if I so choose. But physical training can also grab this card. So it kind of works out. All right, for Tamers here, of course, we have the classic Memory Setter BT1TK. This card will never die. Been here since the beginning of the game and still a huge go-to for tons of yellow players. He is our memory fixer, as well as on play, look at your security stack, reveal 1 card, and add it to your hand. If it was yellow, you get to recover 1. So nice little, just like pull something out. Like, oh, my Patamon's in there. Let me get that Patamon out. Oh, my Magnaangemon Ace is in there. Like, no, I really want to play that card. Let me pull that out. And, and then you get that blind recovery afterwards. So just, really nice tech card here. But the new TK is going to be your primary Tamer that you will probably play the most of on play by returning the top card of your security stack to the hand. You may place 1 yellow card with the vaccine trait from your hand at the bottom of your security stack. So this will just kind of guarantee that you've got your play set up. So you evo your Patamon turn 1, play your TK to pass turn here. Guarantee that you slide that level 4 in there so that Patamon will have a target for the following turn, guaranteed without a doubt. And then your turn, when a card is added to your security stack by suspending this Tamer, gain 1 memory. So immediately on play, you do your swap, and then you suspend him, and then put your opponent at 2 memory. Like, they made him 3 play cost, and he is basically a 2 play cost because of his own effect. It just blows my mind. Like, a 2 play cost for this is very, very good, as well as just for the rest of the game. Anytime I recover or swap cards out of security, I get to trigger this TK. So I can just keep playing these TKs over and over and over. Don't mind it at all. So we absolutely are maxing out this TK as a 4 of. We really do want to see this card as soon as possible to start getting those swaps going. Now, just finishing it off here, I do have 2 Wyvern's Breath. If you're been on the channel for any length of time, you know that pretty much all my decks, I try to run at least 2 big kill option cards, like 2 copies of a big kill option, and Wyvern's Breath is yellow's big killer here, so minus 15,000 DP on 1 target, like killing out a Death X, very good. We play a lot of Tamers here, so Death X's can be pretty cheap relatively. De-digivolving a Seraphimon into a Magnaangemon, yeah, that's a pop for Death X. So or you know what I mean. DCD Bomb, that was another big one. DCD Bomb comes out, de-digivolves our Seraphimon, and then 4-play cost pops the Magnaangemon. all aces, in fact, all the level 5 aces, DCD Bomb can pop. And then that's a 4-play cost, and then they gain 3 memory back, so it's basically a 1-play cost, kill a Mega. We have Wyvern's Breath, though. It's just a good answer all kind of card. Sometimes you'll get in those situations, your opponent will just throw something out, and you're like, I can't clear that. The game is over. I can't do anything. Quartzmon hits the field. I've lost. Wyvern's Breath. All right, I'm back in it. Kind of situation. And then the very last card, we have the new physical trainings. These cards are just stupid good. 2 play costs here. You've revealed 2. You can add any yellow card you want and return the rest to the bottom of the deck. So it can be option card, it can be Tamer, it can be Digimon, just anything yellow, you can add it. Like I love the flexibility there. That's so much better than the 3-play cost delay gain 2 the memory cards. And then delay one of your Digimon may digivolve into a yellow Digimon card in your hand for its digivolution cost. Then it would digivolve by this, reduce the cost by 2, and that's kind of coming back here to the Cutemon here. Pretty much all decks right now are running the training cards. This like stops that the training cards from reducing those Evo costs. So that's why you have the Cutemon in here, is for everyone and their mother that is running the physical training cards. But still an incredibly powerful card. Great searcher, 2-play cost. It is only a reveal 2, but you can add anything. There's no restriction, so I'm a big fan of it. We really want to turbo up into our megas in this deck. Like, you want to get into your megas as fast as possible. You have your setup cards like across the board, great setup pieces here that can guarantee that you'll have them. But if you can't draw into those setup pieces, that's when the physical trainings can come in, where you start drawing the pieces that you're missing, or not drawing them, but you get them, search them out, and then you're like, well, I feel like I'm behind now. Well, the physical training also makes up for that, because you set yourself back that previous turn by digging. Well, now we're just going to make this turn more explosive and do so much more because of it. So physical training cards, very, very strong. But that is the total of the deck here in another long video. Golly, 40 minutes. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm just going to go ahead and